The whole well, this is old now because the Lakers just sold the franchise, but let's get into it.
The Lakers front office is terrible. They never develop talent. Nico Harrison is the best GM the Lakers have ever had.
Okay.
I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. He talks. He's a troll. Talks like a troll. I don't like that guy. He says something to get that like he try to get that response out of you. That's how that guy talks. I don't like him.
Okay.
They basically gave him Luka Doncic. You had 2 generational talents, and you lost in 5 games.
Okay.
JJ is only the coach because he was LeBron's podcast partner. I have a podcast. That doesn't mean I'm going to be the next coach of the Lakers. JJ looks crazy, and you look crazy for loving the Lakers this month.
See what I'm saying? He's he throwing jabs and everything. I don't like him much.
Well, I will say this. JJ Redick got Coach of the Year vote, so I don't see how terrible he is. And if you actually watch the Lakers, you would never ever say that JJ Redick is a terrible coach.
That's a fact.
B,
he won
in terms of the organization, yes, getting a star player is important. And this is the point that I really want to drive home to everybody. Getting a star player is important, but building the team around them is just as important. The Cavaliers had LeBron. They didn't win anything with him until he left and had to come back, and they had to build a team around him. Anthony Davis with the Pelicans, they had him. They didn't win anything because they couldn't build the team
What's
around
your overall
him.
point in all this, though?
The point I'm making
the
is
Lakers
that
organization is good or bad?
No, they're amazing. The point I'm making is that they were able to get someone like KCP, a player that everybody had availability to and was not able to sign him and keep him on their board because they couldn't see the potential. Austin Reeves, undrafted prospect. Max Christie, 2nd-round pick. Alex Caruso, another player that was available to everyone, and everybody could have got him, but they did not receive them. They turned Kendrick Nunn, who isn't even playing in the NBA anymore, into Rui Hachimura, who's out there as a starter in the playoff series. So these are all trades in which you have to build out the roster, something that, again, several other franchises are unable to do because they have these stars that the Lakers somehow swindle from everybody, but they weren't able to win because they weren't able to piece together everything else around them.
They didn't develop Lonzo right. They didn't develop. And you're talking about Caruso. Caruso left.
Yeah, he was good on the Lakers though as well.
But he left.
Yeah, because we cut him. There's a salary cap,
Ingram
so we
left.
can't buy him. We traded him.
Great experiment. You got rid of him, then you brought him back.
I mean, again, these are players.
You needed a rim running big in Mark Williams. Then you told him he failed his physical. You shipped him back.
I can't change his physical.
That's the piece you needed to win this year.
See, I told you, he doesn't have no arguments. He's trolling. Like, he's just trolling. He's just trying to get the reaction out of you. If you're debating like that, bro, I ain't gonna rap with you. I be on like TikTok and be scrolling, and sometimes they have people lives up and they'll have like Michael Jordan in the background. You listen for a little bit and then you can hear how they talk, and there's nothing but trolling. It's like it's not the type of talk that I like to have. Like, he's pointing finger. Well, you had this and you had that. You had this and you had that. And why you did this and why you did that? Alex Caruso left. Bro, he couldn't keep him because he played too good with the Lakers. So you couldn't pay the man, so he had to leave. Sometimes you just can't do that. Well, Mark Williams, you had him and then you gave him back because he failed the physical, because you supposed to do that. Why would I sit here with an injured guy that I'm ready to play right now? I'd rather have the guy that that I know is ready, that I was about to trade. But now this dude coming in, now he failed the physical. Well, I'm supposed to keep him? Nah, go get that straight with them. And then we're going to reevaluate that in the offseason.
And I can't change that.
That's to LeBron and Luka. Is that a great organization?
Last question. Did any of those players you just named, how well have they developed since they've been gone?
D'Lo is good when he's with Brooklyn.
He got you there. D'Lo left. D'Lo don't look. We don't really talk about D'Lo no more. Brandon Ingram has been doing pretty good. Lonzo has to get back into his bag. Julius Randle turned out to be good. But it is what it is, bro. But all those players turned into Anthony Davis in a ring.
I don't know if you've watched this. I don't know if you watched this year. I don't know if you watched this
when Kenny Atkinson was there, he was great. With the Lakers, he was not great. He went back to the Nets and got buckets again. LeBron's supposed to make everybody better. This organization is supposed to make
what's
everybody
Brandon Ingram doing?
My man over here said that all you do is steal players.
What's Brandon Ingram doing?
Making $100 million.
Yeah.
All you do is steal players. Ain't that what a front office is supposed to be doing? It's not stealing. It's trade and sign them. Like, you trade for them. You go get them. Oh, you ain't doing nothing but stealing players. That's front office things. Come on, man.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, it's
And I don't even think Lakers front office is that good, but it's because they're Los Angeles Lakers. People like playing in LA. So they can dang near get what they want. You know what I'm saying? They a big market. Every time there's a trade rumor, why the Lakers always in it? Every time. Oh, Kevin Durant, he's in the offseason. You know who need him? The Los Angeles Lakers. They don't need everybody, bro.
is he developed into the player that he was supposed to be?
Because the Lakers never did it.
But he's been on other teams
super
now.
talented.
He's been on other teams now. He's been
He's
gone
super
off the Lakers.
talented.
So why hasn't he developed?
Why didn't Lonzo develop? Why didn't D'Lo
That's
develop?
a great question.
Ingram?
Why hasn't any of these players developed? They've been
The
gone
Lakers
already.
are the one drafting them and not developing them, and then all they were
only
stars.
They were
in.
only on the team for 2 years.
It's a plastic city.
They were only here for 2 years. 2 years. They can't develop them.
All right.
Yeah, get him out of here, bro.
The front office, not
Just
talent development.
Bro.
What's up, bro?
What up with you, man? What up
What's going on?
with you, man?
The Los Angeles Lakers.
Great fan of your work, man. You do a really great job,
Hey, man, I appreciate you.
Really
Same
good,
with
man.
you.
Now he's gonna
You do a really great job, man. I love everything you do, man.
Butter him up.
He trying to soften him up a little bit. Uh-oh.
There you go, man. There you go.
Look, the Los Angeles Lakers front office have done some incredible things over the years for sure, but it is not a testament to how good they are.
That's why it says the Lakers front office is underrated. I know everybody says, oh, Pelinka ain't doing nothing. And that they're underrated. Which means while you're thinking that he's not doing anything, he's actually doing a lot. That's it.
They benefit.
I think now they're low key listening to the Lakers is the greatest. Like now that's what it's sounding like.
From the market they are in. These players are coming to LA because they want to make a name for themselves. Shaq came to LA in the 90s because he was not getting the movie deals that he wanted to get in Orlando. So he came to LA, his business was booming, he's still doing it right now. General commercials, you know what I'm saying? He never passes up a bag. You know what I mean?
Don't.
Kobe obviously was something that the Lakers kind of stumbled across, right? They got a 13th pick out of Charlotte and he turned into Kobe Bryant. That's a beautiful thing. LeBron James came to the Los Angeles Lakers, not because Rob Pelinka gave him some crazy great pitch. And if anything, the pitch was about everything off the court than it was on the court, right? Because LeBron was coming into the twilight of his career. At least we think he could be playing till he's 50. We don't know. But the fact is that he came in for the twilight of his career because he wanted to see what his life was going to be like post-NBA. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about what he was going to do and if they were going to win with the Lakers. And the way that they did that was shipping all those young guys that they drafted and never developed, and they shipped them out to get Anthony Davis. Got that one ring. That wasn't enough because Anthony Davis brought them a ring. He got rid of them too. And now they got Luka. And you're talking about building a team around Luka and LeBron to win. They didn't win. They haven't been winning. Your highlight was...
They just got together. We can't do that. We can't do that. They didn't win it. They just got together, bro. Can't do that.
Rui Hachimura. What did he do? What has he been doing?
Austin Reeves. Austin
Reeves. All right, that's another guy. Listen, it happens. They stumbled upon Austin Reeves.
It's a lot of stumbling we're doing right now. Just stumbling.
This is the second time. They stumbled upon Kobe. They stumbled upon Austin Reeves.
Caruso?
What about Caruso?
They stumble across him too?
Yeah, okay, he was solid, but we acting like Caruso's a huge difference making on every team that he's been on.
Whoa
is right. If y'all been watching these playoffs, they put Alex Caruso on Jokic. Let's not do that. I got a Caruso jersey in my closet right now. Let's not do that. Caruso was like that. Now, come on now.
Okay. Let me. Okay.
I'm saying like he's a solid player, but let's not act like Alex Caruso was somebody that they developed into an amazing talent.
A couple of things. This whole thing about big market gimmick. Okay, why don't nobody go to the Clippers? Why isn't that it took Kawhi and Paul George before anybody went there? Why didn't LeBron go to the Clippers?
Because the brand around the Lakers.
The brand around the Clippers is bad. Sorry. That's why.
Right now, Hollywood, La La Land, they got 7 different Kardashians courtside every game. That aura that y'all built, it's definitely built. It's there. It's solidified. I'm going to give y'all that. But I'm just saying that is the indicating factor or the contributing factor to players coming to LA. Rarely is it about the roster that they have, or rarely is it about the coach that they have because they're firing coaches left and right over the years. It's always about what they can get off the court. So the Lakers front office is gifted by being in the most beautiful city in the country with all the most beautiful women, with all the most beautiful opportunities. That's that's why players go there, not
Well,
because
but
Rob
also-
Pelinka is nice at what he does.
And also the aura that we built for several years and years and years. Because again, the Clippers are here. The Knicks are in a big market. New Jersey's now in the big, not New Jersey. The Nets are now in the big market as well.
Brooklyn.
So these teams are in big markets and people don't go through them like that at all. Then furthermore, I'll concede if you want to say they didn't do nothing for LeBron, they just stumbled across him. They traded all their assets to go get AD. Okay, fine. And then even when it comes to Luka, they were gifted that as well. But again, the point still stands. Everything
keep
else
coming
that
to
they needed
Lakers.
to do, they had to put together for the team to win. The rest of the roster still needs to be built for them to win a championship. That's the reason why the Phoenix Suns suck right now, because the rest of the roster is not built adequately enough for them to win a championship. You can have all the talent. Giannis is out there with Milwaukee right now, and they can't win because they tried to do the duo thing. They tried to go out there and get another star, and they failed miserably because the rest of the roster is not properly built. So again, when you have all those other pieces to fill out the hole, the KCPs, the Kyle Kuzma, both JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard to fill out the 5 spot, to give a 5 for AD when we went on the championship run, when we without Danny Green as well, Avery Bradley, all those pieces are very important to
got rid of
win.
all of them.
The following year, everybody got hurt, so we couldn't bring them back. And then also people start getting paid. We actually increased KCP's value so much so.
Now he's a dog.
Exactly. Because nobody wasn't talking about KCP before he got to the Lakers. He was playing for Detroit, and nobody didn't know about him.
Yeah.
He gets in the Lakers. We develop him. We playing really well. He's not playing really great basketball, and here we are now.
He's a champion in Denver now. Now, I'll give you that. But look, last thing I want to say just about the Lakers, and hold up, because I was trying to listen to you and I don't want to lose my point.
No,
I'm
you
hoping
good.
that I didn't. But the last thing I want to say about the Lakers is that Jerry Buss back in the 80s, when the Lakers really were kind of like, they had like a real lull after that Jerry West Chamberlain stuff. I'll be done in a sec. Jerry Buss came in and he made the Lakers into the spectacular that it is. Again, it was more about
And they sold it for $10 billion.
off the court and the atmosphere within the Lakers that made them special. And yes, they were winning because they got Kareem because they were in LA. And Magic did get drafted there. And because of the aura that was built by Magic and Kareem, not the Lakers front office, that's how they were able to get guys like Shaq down the line, because they saw what the Lakers and not the Lakers, what being in LA meant for their career. Because they blew up in a way that they wouldn't have in Milwaukee.
RP to Jerry West, he literally told Shaq before everybody else knew how good Kobe Bryant was, before
That's
anybody else did. Another general manager. Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
One more on this topic, and then you'll get first dibs if you want for the next one.
Oh, man.
So, it's due to the Lakers' favoritism of ownership, hiring Magic Johnson, who made a lot of terrible decisions, holding the Lakers back, getting rid of Zubac, who's a borderline all-star, for Mike Moose.
Here go. Here he go.
It's due to the Lakers' favoritism of ownership, hiring Magic Johnson, who made a lot of terrible decisions, holding the Lakers back, getting rid of Zubac, who's a border.
He is talking like there's a guy named, what is his? Bunny might be talking about this dude, and he just can do this thing where he just talk in a paragraph. He just one Laker fan versus 10 Laker fan. The Laker front office is underrated. While I'm watching this video, sitting here on my phone on TikTok doing this. That's how he do it. That's how he talking right now.
All-star for Mike Muscala. What type of stuff is that?
Good.
Rob Pelinka signing Russell Westbrook almost sabotaged his career. Lakers didn't make the playoffs for a year because of him. They got rid of KCP, who did win a championship. For them, he was the third best player for LA in the
That's how
bubble,
he
those
talking right
finals.
now.
A lot of terrible decisions. When you guys signed Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder, 6th man of the year and 6th man runner-up, all the Laker fans were like, oh, we're going to be unstoppable. But guess what? Lost to the Phoenix Suns in the first round.
You know why they lost in the first round, though, right? Let's not act like you don't know why they lost in the first round. If you don't know why the Phoenix Suns beat the Lakers in the first round, then you're just going to just gloss over the fact that you're being a hater.
Okay, all right, let's calm down. Okay, a couple of years we lost because we were hurt. The reason why we lost to the Suns is because AD was hurt, not because the roster wasn't competent enough. Most people probably believe that we would have won if everyone was healthy.
Not since the Nets with Durant's foot, so a lot of other teams were hurt. I could say the same thing about the Clippers
You
and
can.
so
I'm
on.
not even saying it, and I'll admit it. The Westbrook trade was terrible. That was a horrible one. But I'm more so talking about how they're underrated. Yes, they've made mistakes. I don't think there's no franchise that is perfect. I think OKC is probably the closest, but I'm not even saying we're the best. But this idea that we're just this egregiously bad franchise when we've not only won a championship, but we made another conference finals within the LeBron era, and also been able to keep competent rosters around him while we're still juggling draft picks, et cetera, and finding quality players in the process as well. Because again, Austin Reeves, Max Christie, these are players in acquisitions without top draft picks, and we're still able to find them. That is a sign of a really, really good franchise. So, yeah.
That team was going nowhere until Nico Harrison decided to make the most shocking move in history. And the Lakers they should have signed Mark Williams because they had no chance.
He failed his physical. We tried it.
They ain't connected absolutely nothing. JJ Redick didn't even give him a chance.
Well, he's a rookie. He should have a chance. But we tried it. Again, us going after Mark Williams.
I think that's an NBA thing. I don't think that's a Laker thing. I had to look that up. But when somebody fails a physical, I think the trade is just like you can't do it because they're hurt. Like I think that's how that goes. I'm not sure.
Shows that we are a good.
Or they maybe it was the Lakers because they might give them the option to rescind it.
Franchise, because we at least tried to address the issue. All right, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Run on sentence.
Yeah, I like. Oh, okay.
All right, real quick, checking in with the judges before our last two topics. What do y'all think?
All right, we're going to let my boy go first since we were mean.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the haters on that one. Great point. Definitely stepped it up.
Yeah, I like the haters too. Boy with the Yankees hat, I feel like he said some really good points. I'd like to see him come up more and talk too. Good job.
More participation needed.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the haters as well.
Okay.
This is like the
They
first
controlled
haters
the
topic.
conversation and the debate, and they had a lot of facts to back it up.
All right, so there's still a chance for the haters with two topics remaining.
The 2020 championship was way harder than people give credit for.
Uh-oh. This is my take on this. It is way harder than people give it credit for. I think it's the hate of LeBron James that did that. Now, my thing is this. If the Lakers would have lost to Miami Heat in the bubble, would it have counted? If the Miami Heat would have won that 2020 championship, would it have counted? I don't want to hear anything else because y'all would have counted it. Oh, LeBron lost to the Miami Heat. He couldn't do nothing. It would have hurt. Y'all would have said it hurt his legacy. It would have hurt his GOAT conversation. Y'all would have said everything. But he won it. So y'all like, Mickey Mouse. Nobody wanted to play in the bubble. Let me tell you something. If Kobe Jordan was in this bubble, it'll be a documentary about it. It will be a documentary about it. We'll be having conversations like, oh yeah, it was 3 a.m. and I heard the basketball dribbling. I look outside and it's Kobe working on his jump shot because he knew he had a game the next day. He was the only one that was mentally locked in while he was in here. All you had to do, sleep, eat, play basketball. And what were them guys' jobs? To play basketball. No home court advantage for nobody. Except for the Orlando Magic. Because they was in Orlando. No home court advantage. Y'all out here hooping, bruh. The only point you can make is that 2 month span, or when they wasn't playing basketball from the season to the playoffs, that little span right there, only thing you can say is that it gave people more rest in the middle to get ready for the playoffs. That's the only thing you can say. But as far as it being Mickey Mouse and don't count and it ain't that hard, it was easy. Was it? Because I remember every single playoff series the Lakers had, they had them losing. They played the Trailblazers. The Lakers gonna lose to the Portland Trailblazers. Beat them in 5. Or they gonna lose to the Rockets. Beat them in 5. They gonna lose to the Nuggets. I think they beat them in 5 too. And they would have beat the Miami Heat in 5 if Danny Green would have hit that shot. But instead, they beat him in 6. And it don't count because it's LeBron. I'm telling you, that's why, bro. Now, we're going to listen to these points. And we're going to see if I set this up right. Let's see.
Oh, y'all agree? Oh, wow.
Oh, they act like they ain't want to walk up there. Let's see. What you got?
They won the championship. Absolutely.
Yes.
Way harder than people give it credit for. That was the best basketball that anyone was playing at that time. Look at the shooting percentages. They had no distractions. Nobody had to go on the road. They had the best team. They were playing Jimmy Buckets and a bunch of pipsqueaks, okay?
How did they get to that point, though?
But you got to remember what Miami did to all them other players, bro. All them other games, bro. Come on now. Don't do this. Don't do this because he beat the Celtics. Let's not do this. The Celtics were supposed to win it.
They played the Nuggets, who were tired from coming back down 3-1.
Who fault is that?
Yeah, they were tired. It was Jokic. Look, he gets tired, okay? That's his fatal flaw, all right?
Okay.
And that Nuggets team was not ready at all.
They wasn't ready, but they were the team that beat the Clippers from being down 3-1, correct? They actually came back on 2 teams being down 3-1 twice in that whole playoff, but they wasn't ready.
Okay.
And then they had a pretty easy route to get there before that.
They weren't ready, but they beat the team that everybody thought was going to win in the Clippers.
Yeah, and you've been saying this entire time how lame the Clippers are. That's not that impressive.
Lame as in the organization, not the team. Everybody thought that the Clippers was going to be the Kings of LA. Did we forget that?
But that was their best roster by far.
Yeah, but they had the Doc Rivers special. They lost a 3-1 series, okay?
Oh.
Blame it on Doc.
You know?
Not playoff P's shooting it off the side of the backboard.
So that's what the Nuggets obviously became what they were after that run because they played the Lakers. But the Lakers, without a doubt, it's a championship, but it's not underrated. It was a bubble championship.
I kind of feel like you're proving my point. You started out by saying it was the best basketball to be played. So that means that if it was
exactly
the best basketball, that means that we went up against the best competition. If accuracy, efficiency, scoring was all up, as you claim, which as a sidebar has been debunked that it was relatively similar to what it normally is. But if that's your argument, then that would further prove the point to how difficult it is. If everybody's playing at their best, which Jimmy Butler, that is probably the best version of Jimmy Butler we've seen throughout his entire career. If Jimmy Butler's playing at his best, if Jokic and them are playing so well, they can come back from not just 1 but 2 blown being down 1-3. That was some of the best basketball we not only seen from Devin Booker and the Suns, but also bubble TeeJay Warren. Then you had Damian Lillard playing some of the best basketball as well as James Harden. You're literally making the point for me. And on top of that, the Lakers were down a starter throughout the entire time and still won a championship. So you're proving the point. The fact that there was no distractions, no travel, everyone was basically relatively healthy, and because there was nothing really to stop them, everyone's focused in. It's the most focus you get out of anyone, and the Lakers still come out on top. That's the reason why it's much more difficult than people give it credit for.
And they still went to 6 games against a pretty mediocre Miami team.
Because that's how good Jimmy Butler was playing. That's how great he was playing.
That championship is not as good as other championships that they could have won.
That's not the argument either.
It still counts as a championship. I'll give you that. But they played a defeated entire Nuggets team, and then a Miami team that kept having to go long series against the Celtics and the Bucks in their conference.
Now, what does it have to do with us if we beat the teams that we're in front of us so well that we didn't have to go to 7 games?
This is what I don't understand. When it comes to LeBron James, he just has to play against all of the toughest teams ever to win this championship, while other teams don't got to do that, bro. Other teams don't have to go up against the toughest teams when they get into the playoffs and stuff, bro. They ain't got to do that, bro. I don't understand it. When it's LeBron James though, he got to play against the Monstars every round, and we gonna respect it. But everybody else, they can play, you know what I'm saying? We number 1, we going to play the HC, beat them in 4, beat the next team in 4, beat the next team in 5, beat the next team in 4. Come on, bro.
to beat them. Like, what was that? What I got to do with us? We were rested, everything ready to go. And again, there is no travel, so everyone is rested. Everyone is rested.
But it was COVID. These guys had long COVID. You know that it was affected.
Yeah, get him out the chair. He just arguing.
Long COVID is crazy. Not short COVID. Long COVID is crazy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Here come run on sentence. Come on, run on.
All right.
A championship is a championship at the end of the day, but the strength of schedule the Lakers played, not so great, given the Clippers did choke. It was the Clippers' fault, but they played the Miami Heat, who was a 5th seed, and they didn't even have Goran Dragic. After game 1, he got that foot injury, and Bam Adebayo was banged up a lot, so that was one of the easiest titles the Lakers won at full strength with AD and LeBron.
AD was not full strength. No, he wasn't. AD was hurt. AD got hurt in the finals as well.
He actually got hurt in the finals, yep.
Well,
Later in the series, he still pulled it off and made some clutch plays, but Miami was super hurt.
oh, they were super hurt. Okay. I want to be clear. Again, Avery Bradley did not play.
Avery Bradley didn't even come to the bubble because I think he already had something was already wrong with him.
Missing a starter the entire time. So we were already down a man. And then on top of that,
They don't
AD
remember
got hurt
that.
in the finals as well. But again, this like the strength of schedule, it's not our fault that the Clippers decided not to show up for the last 2 to 3 games of their series. That's on them. And on top of that, if you are
3-1 lead,
good enough to come back down 1-3, not once but twice, that shows how great the Nuggets were at that point, even with them being young. And the fact that AD can go out there and do what he did all postseason run, because I think a lot of people knew LeBron was going to dominate that way. It was even more impressive to see that AD had to play at that level for them to win in the dominant fashion that they did. Be very mindful as well. They went down 0-1 in not only round 1 but in round 2, and they still dominate both of those teams that were able to beat them in the first game. So this idea that it was just this easy cakewalk, but in real time, you can see several people sitting there claiming that, this is going to be a very difficult team. They're going to face this team is also going to be very difficult.
I remember.
And they end up losing to all of them in 5 games, and then go on to beat the same
everybody.
Denver Nuggets team that went on to beat the Clippers that everybody was calling the next Chicago Bulls, comparing Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
They was.
Jokic was not like Jokic back then, though, and the Lakers were one of the only few teams alongside with the Clippers and the Bucks because of sad political reasons. They wanted to leave the bubble in the first place. They wanted to, but then the league decided we're gonna keep playing. So the Lakers, they didn't even want to be in there fully, but they did win that championship. So there's a lot of stuff that's missing.
Everybody don't want to be there until they're losing down. Like everybody was there. People were up. They were there. But hey, man.
The bubble Lakers, the only title team that did not have their parade, and it's too late now.
See, that's the trolling part. You got to get a response.
No, that's it.
Shots fired. Take that. You can't even rebuttal.
He done hit you after the bell. He done hit your ass after the bell. Ding ding. Foul.
After this, last topic with our grand finale debater.
Okay, now I'll tell you this. It wasn't equal for everybody.
Okay.
Where was LeBron staying? He had different accommodations than every other player in the bubble.
Okay.
And not everyone wanted to be there because before the bubble started, the Clippers said that they wanted to be out. They didn't even want to play. So some teams really lacked that motivation because of what was going on in the world.
They had the motivation when they were up 3-1.
But you know what else I'll tell you? They tried to kick my man Lou Williams out because he just wanted some wings. Wings. So
he ain't just want no wings. He wanted them things too. He was there for the wings, but he got a whole bunch of thighs. Lou Will.
If a player can't get food, something he needs to survive, how can I really
get this? This is gaslighting. This is gaslighting. Everybody got food. It's not like he was starving in the bubble. Everybody got something to eat. What are you talking about?
Aren't you from Atlanta?
Yes.
So how good are the wings from Magic City?
They're trash. They're trash. Overrated. They're overrated. First of all, I'm big, so I definitely know about the wings. they're not good at all.
Okay, so he just sat down just to troll a little bit.
Again, if you're not disciplined enough to just stay in the bubble, you're in a highly accommodated situation, and you are up 3-1. That is a terrible excuse. You had and Paul George is sitting there talking to Dennis Schroeder. Oh yeah, we ready. I'm healthy. Everybody ready to go. We got this player, that player. He's on the Instagram Live chatting it up.
He was
as if like they ready to go. They go up 3-1 now. All of a sudden, you're not motivated no more. That don't make no sense. That just sounds like a loser to me. That's what it sounds like to me. LeBron would never allow that to happen. So I'm just saying right now. So there's that.
I just wanted to say that. I really don't care.
See, I told you.
Where
He
did he
just wanted
stay?
to troll.
Where did he stay, Deshaun? Where did he stay? What hotel?
He had the best accommodation.
Where was it?
I don't know the name. It was on the resort.
It was still on the resort.
None of the players saw him, and even when they used to go out to get food,
It was still on the resort.
You know that.
We saw her on the resort.
Okay.
It was on the
All right. Regardless of what you thought, I need you to judge based on what you heard, okay?
Fan one.
So even if you don't think the Lakers are the greatest franchise, if he convinced you, you got to be honest. So let's start and reveal our winner.
I'm going to go with the Lakers fan. You guys were a little bit more opinion-based, and towards the end of the debate, you guys did start to understand the facts that he was bringing to the table, debated it a little bit better, but he just held his ground from beginning to end. I'll give it to the Lakers fan. Too little, too late.
Same thing. I'm really biased against the Lakers, so like me saying this right now is just like killing me. I know when people see this,
You don't have to say that.
No, I have to say it though. It has to be said because it's a very important factor. And then even it's super important for me. Even like that last argument, like I even think Instagram's not even the best third option in LA. I think Norman Powell was a better third option for. We're gonna talk about scoring and stuff like that, well, basketball wise. Even was almost an all-star. Austin Reeves wasn't close to all-star this season. He had kind of good numbers, but voting-wise, he wasn't. Yeah, for sure, yeah. So, unfortunately, I'm giving it to the Lakers.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's
Fan
nuts.
wins.
All right, let's see if it's a clean sweep, though.
As a Celtics fan, I can't stand the Lakers. Still the best franchise, 18 championships. But I got to
18.
give it to
They do got 18.
the Lakers fan. And the reason why I
Y'all
say
got
that is
smoked.
because he controlled the topic from beginning to end. In the beginning, the haters were kind of off topic, like the other judge said, opinionated. He kept the same topic that he brought up the entire way, but the haters stepped up big time at the end.
They did.
If it was one more topic and the haters won, I would have given it to the haters.
This whole thing is about opinions.
But I would say
No,
that his.
you're missing it though. Y'all are y'all opinions aren't the topic though. You need to have at least an opinion about what he's saying. Y'all taking it over here and over there, and he's staying on topic. That's why y'all lost.
So you don't think they judge fairly?
Kind of knew how he wanted to dictate the conversation.
They can't be a judge to the judge. What are we doing?
A victory for Laker Nation. Y'all let us know, who do you want us to hate on next?
Like, comment, subscribe, what I goes domain. Peace.